If you're someone who needs to hear this, take a breath. For those who put others first when their own world's a mess. For anyone who feels like they're near the end, this one's for you. This one's for you. Want you to take one breath, take one step, and never say never. Things will get better, only takes one day to rewrite your fate. Know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening, I hope you're living out your life. Wherever you are, I know you'll make it. Hold on to faith and you'll survive. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening, I hope you're living out your life. Wherever you are, I know you'll make it. Hold on to faith and you'll survive. Wherever you are. Know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are. I know you'll make it. Wherever you are. If you're someone who'll take the fall to save someone else, and nobody even knows that you're suffering yourself. For anyone whose pain always hurts like hell, this one's for you. This one's for you. Want you to take one breath, take one step, and never say never. Things will get better, only takes one day to rewrite your fate. Know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening, I hope you're living out your life. Wherever you are, I know you'll make it. Hold on to faith and you'll survive. Wherever you are. Wherever you know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are. Wherever you are.
Welcome, one and all, to this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. How are you doing? Wadhams, Stretch, Ranger, Grizzly Bear, Merbear, how you doing? Dart Chewbacca, Freya Wolf, Ronin, Nerdy, Dave, how we doing? Pikey Mama, thank you so much for stopping in. Raven Harley, thank you for being here. Shadow Wolf, how's it going, Lady Zephyr? Tonight, we are going to be doing yet another Two-Ton Tuesday, where we discuss the sensitive societal issues that affect us on a day-to-day basis in a kind, caring, but logical way. This is going to be, I think, a pretty easy one, honestly. I think some people may get in their feelings about it a bit because of what we're going to be discussing, but I'm pretty sure everyone's going to... I'm pretty sure everyone's going to generally agree. Tonight, we're going to be doing a more professional, live, as usually my Two-Ton Tuesdays I try to be. So a lot of the stuff is going to be deactivated and turned off. But I appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out. That's awesome, Viking Mama. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that stuff is working out. So tonight, the subject is stolen valor. Stolen valor versus false valor. What is it? Who does it affect? How do we act around it? And what's the ramifications? And I'm pretty sure all of us can agree that not only is it embarrassing and dishonest, dishonorable, it can also be very hurtful for a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of hurt feelings about the military. It's Taylor, we're going to be getting into all that. We're going to be getting into all that. A lot of people are affected by the military. Everybody has a cousin, a niece, a nephew, an uncle, sister, an aunt that served in the military in one form or another. Whether it is Marines, Navy, Army, doesn't matter. We all are affected by the military, especially in the last 2 decades that we've been in an armed conflict. It surrounds us for a long time, to the point where people, I think, kind of forgot that we were at war. This is one of the times in our society where being a veteran is kind of a normal thing. There's an abundance of us. We're everywhere. And a part of that results in people trying to take advantage. Now, there are a lot of gray areas surrounding these laws because, yes, it is a felony to be tried and convicted of stolen valor. It is a felony. In a bunch of states, it's not just a slap on the wrist. Some states, yes. But in most states, you don't fuck around with this. Now, before we get into the legalities of it, what exactly is stolen valor? Definition is as follows. Stand by. Stolen valor refers to falsely claiming military service, rank, or awards to gain a tangible benefit, and is now a federal crime. That is the boiled down, bare bones, one sentence answer. You pretend to have served in the military, and then you try to claim some sort of tangible benefits. The key word there is tangible. Okay, and the gray areas start to come out with that. Because what is that? In most states, to be convicted of the felony, you have to have garnered in excess of like $3,000 of benefits. Okay, it's like considered a step up from larceny because not only did you steal money, you also have to have utilized stolen valor to get that benefit. The problem lies in that if you want anyone, any single person can go to any Army Navy surplus store or even online. I can show you online right now where you can buy medals and uniforms, complete uniforms. They will show you how to put on the ribbons and medals and wear it properly to look like you're in the military. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can wear whatever you want. Because the bottom line is it's clothes. It's clothes. Radio Mafia, a lot of them do now. Like Home Depot, you have to go through a website and use, I think it's ID Me, which is the same thing the government uses to verify you're a fucking military member or prior military member. And then you can get the discount. Most businesses ask for ID. And I just flash my VA ID and that's it. But anyone can wear any uniform and claim they're the Rear Admiral of the Space Force or the Space Cadets. And it doesn't matter. It's clothes. I had a video a while ago. That's bullshit. I don't agree that it's just clothes. It's an earned honor to wear. No, it's not. You know what the earned honor is? The earned honor is being able to raise my right hand and put my name on that line. Doesn't matter what uniform I do it in. It's that simple. I can serve in civilian attire. It doesn't matter what clothes I'm wearing to abide by my oaths and do my sworn duty.
I am here! Coming through the door like a hero!
Thought I turned that off. That was weird. It's clothes. The bottom line, it is clothes. The ribbons, the medals, all the fancy adornments. And I've seen a whole bunch of veterans who get all bent out of shape for people wearing clothes. And so a while back, I had a TikTok video that I was sent about a 14-year-old kid. This is years ago now. So he's probably 18 now, but whatever. 14-year-old kid in high school wearing his brother's ACUs, the Army digitals. And he was wearing ribbons and he was wearing the boots and he looked like a soup sandwich. Like you could obviously tell this kid was not in. And he was going around and he wasn't telling anyone that he was in the military. He was just wearing his brother's ribbons and wearing his brother's camis. And people on TikTok lit him the fuck up, tore him apart 6 ways from Sunday. And the kid eventually came out and made a video wearing the uniform, I might add. So, yes, it is the right to self-expression. As long as you're wearing the clothes, it doesn't matter. And okay, so here's the flip side. Okay, so hang on. Let me finish my point. Ladies effort, that is a good point. Let me finish my point. They tore this kid apart 6 ways from Sunday. And he came out and he made a second video wearing the uniform saying that he's just really supportive of the military. He wants to represent us. He wants to join when he gets older, on and on and on. And people kept on just tearing him apart. And this is back when Vet Talk became super, super fucking toxic. And I got sent this video so many fucking times that I made a video and then somebody responded to me saying that, oh, he knew better, blah, 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 blah. And I stood on my shit and I said, fuck you. Oh my, I got brothers that died in that uniform. I have a friend who died in a motorcycle helmet. Does that mean you shouldn't wear those? What about firefighters that had their brothers in arms die in uniform? Does that mean they shouldn't wear their fucking turnout gear? What about police officers? Should they stop wearing the uniform? The clothes do not define who you are. Your actions, your character, who you are inside, define who you are. If the clothes you're wearing make you who you are, that's not who you are. You're just wearing a mask. And there was one of my videos that actually fucking popped off. And I straight up told that the veteran community is one of the most toxic places on the face of the fucking planet, simply because someone is trying to support us and we don't agree with how they're supporting us. We're going to tear them apart. Dude, you don't get to choose how someone roots for you. You get to sit back and go, thank you for your support. You should be honored that they want to emulate you. You should be fucking ecstatic. Do NFL players get mad when someone wears their fucking jersey? Hey, you don't got pads underneath that. You're not wearing a helmet. You're not in full fucking pants and wearing cleats, and you don't have fucking. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. And then you're going to tear someone apart simply because they're not honoring you the way you want them to. Yeah, that's wrong. I wouldn't fit my own dress uniform. I haven't fit my own dress uniform in years. But here's the thing. It's not even dress uniforms. It's field jackets. It's pea coats. It's anything. You're allowed to wear clothes because that's all they are. That is all they are. They are medals and ribbons. And I can show you right now where you can purchase said uniform, ribbons and medals and boots and everything. Go ahead, buy it, wear it. By all means, I will show you how to. Clothes don't make you who you are. The medals on your chest do not define your character. And if they do, that's not who you truly are. Next, when it comes to wearing a uniform, if you are in the military, you can wear whatever you want. Even if you're in the military, as long as it doesn't have name tapes, rank insignia, ribbons, medals, any of that, you can wear whatever you want. There is codes, uniform codes, dictating how it should be worn. As long as you're not wearing that uniform, exercising your duties, representing whatever branch in uniform, do whatever you want. Now, as for civilians, do those UCMJ codes, or pardon me, uniform codes, Uniform Code of Military Justice is what I'm talking about. And then there's also uniform codes that you're dressed, whatever. Does that apply to civilians? No, of course not. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. JROTC is... That's a whole other animal. That's a whole other animal. If someone gets bent out of shape for another person wearing clothes, that person needs to take a deep breath and wear a helmet. Because I'll tell you right now, do you know what all of us military members say when we see someone wearing clothes and pretending to be a... So here's the flip side of it, okay? This is where we're going to get into the legalities and stuff. Do you know what all of us military members say when we meet someone who's pretending to be a Marine Force Recon, PJ SEAL, SWIC, Ranger, Green Beret? And they're telling us how they were on super secret scroll missions issued to them from the president back in Nam. And they're obviously not old enough to have been in Nam. Do you know what we say? Cool story, bro. And we turn and walk away. That's what probably 98% of us do. I don't give a shit. Because here's the thing. Who are they hurting? Nobody. And yes, we are going to laugh later. Because here's the thing. Do you know those dudes? Okay. Those dudes that were actually doing that aren't going to tell you. They're not going to tell you what they were fucking doing. Well, actually, now they can, because Nom and stuff has become declassified. Actually, what year group are we in? There's stuff that's, because it's like 50 years. That shit gets redacted for 50 years. So Nom is getting released. Damn, we're coming up on some Cold War shit. That's going to be interesting. I want to read some of that shit. Anyways, okay, I've got severely distracted. So one of my first experiences with stolen valor, quote unquote, false valor. I mean, 72? 74? When did officially... Hang on. $1975. Okay, April 30th, 1975. I was way off. I was 3 years off. Okay, no. The U.S. involvement ended in 1973. Okay? Officially ended in 1973. The Vietnam War, the conflict itself, ended in 1975. So... Anyways, getting back to stolen and false valor. My first interaction with it was, Logger, my dog tags are hanging right here. My dog tags that were issued to me in the Navy are right there. Do you know what they have on them? They have my social security number. Well, they have my name, my date of birth, my place of birth. They might have my place of birth. Name, date of birth, blood type, social security number. What are a couple things you really don't want falling into people's hands? Yeah, that could, I mean, keeping them for safekeeping, having them as a treasure, of course. Oh yeah, religious preference. Why was I thinking place of birth? Whatever, religious preference. Do you know I'm Protestant? They don't have Christian. It's Protestant. That made no sense. Whatever. It was like, what the fuck is Protestant? I'm Christian. And they're like, yeah, that's Protestant. I'm like, No, Protestant is Protestant. I'm a Christian. Anyways, so wearing your family's dog tags, I would say keeping them as a keepsake, yes. Wearing them around, I wouldn't, simply because it has a couple identifiers on it that could really cause some problems. If you want to wear a set of dog tags, man, buy a pair offline with whatever you want stamped on them. You can get dog tags everywhere. Just because about it. Yeah, exactly. No, that's what it is. Because there's non-denominational, there's Southern Baptist, there's Baptist, EV free, whatever. So my first run-in with stolen valor, false valor, was directly after boot camp. I went to my recruiting station because I was told after you get out of boot camp and you do your time at A school and you get your rate, Pastafarian, yeah, whatever. After you get out of boot camp and do your time at A school, you can go to your closest recruiting station and do duty at the recruiting station for a couple of days and get extra days of leave tacked onto your year. And I was fresh out of boot camp. Dude, I want to be a Jedi. That'd be awesome. I want to be a Jedi. Can I go back in the military and be like, I want to be a Jedi? I want to do that. So sorry. Allergies have been kicking my ass. Anyways, I was serving my days of duty and had this guy come in, and he was obviously homeless, obviously not in the best mental capacity. And remember, this was 2007, so we'd been at it for a while now. And this dude walks into the recruiting station. Oh, it's been killing me. It's been killing me, Jay Wolf. I've been taking Zyrtec every morning and it helps, but oh God. He comes in and struck up a conversation with me. And the best part was the recruiter in the office knew him and knew what I was walking into and fucking bailed and just left me with this dude. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm in charge now. And he was one of the ones where he was a SEAL, PJ, Force Recon, Ranger, Green Beret, getting super secret squirrel missions from the president and the CIA and a whole bunch of redacted shit. And I was like, and I really didn't know what to do. I really, because it was my first, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck do I do with this? And I asked my recruiter when he came back in, because I want to say he was a QM1, QM2, quartermaster, second class. And I was like, what the fuck? Well, I didn't say what the fuck. I was like, what was going on with that? And he's like, oh, it's just a guy trying to relive glory days that he didn't actually live. And it took me a long time to realize some people just want to feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. Some people served in the military, some people didn't. Some people never got the opportunity, some people did. But no matter what, all of us want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And it's an honor. It's an honor to do so. The problem lies is when we start using that want to gain some sort of financial, tangible benefit. So, when it comes to stolen valor, is someone sitting on a live saying that they're super secret squirrel, PJ Recon, SEAL Ranger, is that stolen valor? No. They can say that they're captain of the Space Cadets. Same goes for wearing the uniform. They can wear whatever they want because when you boil it down, it is simply clothes. It's the same as when people burn your uniforms. It's clothes. Yes, there's a lot of feelings wrapped up in that. They can do whatever they want with their clothes. They earned them, they bought them, whatever. They can do whatever they want. The problem lies is when they are gaining some sort of financial benefit from pretending to have earned medals, awards, or have even served in the military. There was a case, I want to say about 15 years ago now, where a number of individuals, I believe it was 3 dudes in Oklahoma, pretended to have served in the military, went to their local VFW, and explained that they needed money to, I believe it was renovate their house, and said that they had all served in the military and on and on and on. They had done this, they had done that. Turns out only one of them had served in the military and was still reserving. He was still reservist. The other 2 hadn't ever served and were in fact career criminals. But they fooled this VFW into thinking that they were all military members or veterans and needed help. So they put on a number of money-making things, whether it was car washes, whether it was bake sales, whether it was a rummage sale. All the benefit, though, was to go to these 3 dudes to renovate their home. And I think they collected somewhere upwards of $10,000. Like it wasn't just a small chunk of change. And then on top of that, they got local merchants to purchase, to kick in goods and services. They got guys to come out and redo their deck. They got guys to come out and redo their roof, and on and on and on. And when it all came to light, the 2 guys that hadn't served in the military, I believe, got 7 years in prison. And the one reservist, he faced some other charges. I don't know what he got because, simply put, that was military, and that was, that not my branch, and just kind of, I heard about it in passing, and I was like, oh shit, that sucks, and kept on going. But on top of that, the judge made the 2 guys, write letters to all the families and widows in that county and the 4 surrounding counties, each and every one of them, apologizing, explaining what they did, and send them out. He said, you have 7 years in prison. You got nothing but time. I expect it to be done. That is stolen valor. That is using lies and manipulation to coerce those around you into believing that you had served in the military and gotten some awards, had some stuff happen to you, and you garnered some benefit from it. That is stolen valor. Somebody wearing clothes in public, whatever. Makes no never mind to me. Same as anyone else wearing clothes. Someone claiming that they were working for the CIA on a black site in Da Nang while they were a Force Recon SEAL, PJ, whatever. Okay. Cool story, bro. Doesn't bother me. And it shouldn't bother you. Now, there is another twist to this, is something called false valor. Now, it's different. There's a huge difference between stolen valor and false valor. Okay? False valor is when someone in the military who is in the military, or were in the military, claim to have received combat action ribbons, been in combat, been wounded in combat, basically been and done stuff that they haven't actually been and done. Now, the same rules apply with a slight twist. If they're using lies and manipulation to garner some sort of tangible benefit, again, the problem is in the gray areas, okay? Someone in the military, the thing that cracks me up about a lot of these people who come out with false valor, all I have to do is look up your DD-214. And really, especially if you're on a social media platform claiming to be whatever, do you know how many lists you're on, dude? Why are you claiming something like that? Why claim something like that? That you saw combat in this time on this place with this unit. You know there's other people there, right? And you know all I have to do is look up some of your unit members and say, "Hey, do you remember this dude?" And they're going to go, "No." And I'm going to go, "Oh, apparently this person's full of shit." The E12. Oh, Jesus Christ. Point is, false valor, stolen valor are two different things. False valor is anyone in the military trying to claim that they've seen combat, that they've been and done and whatever. The really funny thing is, most everyone... Okay, here's a little tidbit of information. Can you give your opinion on why people think? Yeah. Because they want to be high speed, low drag, shit hot, Billy badass. And for everyone else, nobody cares. Because here's something crazy that a lot of military members can't get through their fucking skull. Nobody cares about your military time. You get out, that shit magically disappears like a fart in the wind. It's gone. Nobody cares. They want to pretend that they were some high-speed, low-drag, super tactical asshole, John Wick, John Woo motherfucker. And it's like, dude, you were pushing paper like the rest of us. So here's a little tidbit of information. Do y'all know the percentage of population that actually serve in the military? Dave, closer than I ever was. I fucking never even. It's roughly 3%. It's roughly 3%. It's roughly 3% of the U.S. population serve in the military. Okay, roughly 3%. It's like 2.67, I think. 2.67. 2.67 of the percentage of the population serve in the military. Okay, now, do you know the percentage of that actually see combat? And I'm talking real combat. I'm talking actually fire going back and forth. They all want to be him. They all want to be him. The actual percentage of the like 2.5% of population that go to serve in the military, the tiny fraction of a percentage of people who serve in the military, how many of those see combat? It's roughly 7% of that. Roughly 7%. It fluctuates, but it depends. There's a whole bunch of things. Depends on your branch. Depends on your rate or your job in the military. Like Navy, we don't see combat. Sorry, not sorry. And our combat, it could simply be our ship went into combat lines and went right back out. That was a combat tour. Sorry, join the Navy. What can I tell you? You want to travel and party? Join the Navy. Air Force, rarely see combat unless you're in a combat MOS. Yeah, if you want to see combat, join the Army or the Marine Corps. Just saying. Unless you're a Navy SEAL. Yeah, but there's not that's a whole other. You're talking, okay. Do you know how many people actually become SEALs? Like real SEALs. I'm talking tier 1 operators, fucking pipe hitters, the motherfuckers that are kicking doors in and going and doing it. Tiny. Okay, 2.5% of the population become military, 7% of that see combat. Do you know how many of that 7%, that tiny little fraction of percentage that fits on the tip of my finger, are actually SEALs? Yeah, you're talking nobody. Nobody. So, exactly. You're talking about the top, like, infinitesimally small percentage of people become special forces. I'm not talking Rangers because that's a whole other, are you tabbed and scrolled? I'm not talking Force Recon because that's a whole other, yeah. SEALs, Green Beret, Force Recon, PJs, like, what are the motherfuckers in the Air Force? Not PJs. The fucking radio guys. The TAC-P. Yes, TAC-P. Delta. So you're talking the top tier. Like, you don't see all the motherfuckers working behind the scenes. Okay? You don't see you don't see the armorers. You don't see the fucking equipment repair guys. You don't see the medics. You don't see all the fucking people pushing paperwork. Do you know how much paperwork it takes to make these guys go and do what they fucking do? Like, it is so much paperwork. So much fucking paperwork. It's not even funny. Yeah. So, getting back to stolen valor and false valor. Anyone who comes up and who openly says, I'm a SEAL, First of all, no the fuck you're not. Second of all, no the fuck you're not, because nobody would be saying that they're a SEAL. Third the fuck of all, no the fuck you're not, because I can see your gut. Like, yeah, Doc, get out of here. He's got some crazy fucking dental work, and he's just, yeah. So... Shadow Wolf. So, okay. That's, hang on. Shadow Wolf, if you would like to get information on your dad's service, see if you can get in contact with the VA. If you have a if you have the death certificate, and if you can prove that you're a next of kin, you should be able to get their DD-214, a copy of their DD-214. You should be able to get a copy of their DD-214. And yeah, no, the SEALs are not the Marines of the Navy. The Marines are the Marines of the Navy, because the Marines are Department of the Navy. And any Marine that wants to argue that with me, look at your fucking pay stub, motherfucker. Where around, you know, where it says, you know, United States Marine Corps, Department of the Navy. Fuck off. Oh, god damn, fucking allergies. Stolen valor is not something that should be fucked around with, because yes, it is a felony. Am I saying you should go and purchase whatever you want from an Army Navy surplus store and wear it around saying you're the Rear Admiral of the fucking Space Marines? No, it's probably not a good idea. However, comma, can you do it? Yeah. Here. I will show you. Here's a store selling a what the? Why is it so dark? Here's a store selling a World War II era field jacket. $99. Best jackets on the face of the planet. I'll tell you right now. You can slap some name tapes and some rank insignia on that motherfucker. You can look like you're just in World War II. Here's a full Army uniform. Of course, this isn't current, but you can get patches. You can get rank insignias. They will do it all for you. It's got a hefty fucking price. That's the issue, pinks and greens. Is it? I fucking hate the Army change their uniform yet again. But there you go. $800. There you go. $800. You can get whatever you want. They'll do it all for you. So, is there anything wrong with getting this uniform and wearing it? Nope. You can wear whatever you want, as long as you don't use it to garner some sort of tangible benefit from those around you. Summer boots would be the only thing I'd get from all the stores I've been told. No. You can buy whatever you want. Ugh. I wouldn't. is $800, dude. I can't do that. But yeah, go to any Army Navy surplus store. Like, look at this. There's literal racks of uniforms. Literal racks of uniforms. On and on and on. You can find patches. You can find everything. And granted, a lot of it is cop gear and shit like that. But you can find plenty of uniform wear. You want to talk patches, you want to talk coins, all that shit can be recreated. There's nothing wrong with wearing clothes. Using those clothes to garner some sort of benefit from those around you is illegal as long as it's up to a certain amount. Is it wise? Probably not. Because you got fucking keyboard warriors all over the place that are gonna fucking chase you down. You can't wear that. I got a brother that died in that uniform. Okay, high speed. Fucking whatever. And the difference between stolen valor and false valor. False valor is just claiming you were doing shit in places that you never were, with people you never met, in things you never did. The problem lies in when people start lying and they can't stop. So let's address the elephant in the room. Battle Buddy response team. Everyone familiar with what's going on? Stand by. Just hangy.
You know, I thought I was done making Watch It to the End videos, but here we are, and Sam from Battle Buddy Response Team. It's time we had a little chat. Because, you haven't been quite honest about everything, have you? Let's start out with why I started asking these questions.
But if you haven't fucking stepped foot in a motherfucking off the fucking fob, or down a motherfucking to another fucking country, go shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down, or get the fuck out of the fucking...
That whole tirade right there is completely unacceptable in the veteran world. But hold on, because this is what really made me question everything.
I got broad shoulders. I've been blown up in Iraq. I've been medevaced out. I've had fucking fingernails ripped off, fucking cut open, shrapnel. I've done...
Using that as a defense as to why people shouldn't be able to question you is just very icky to me. So I started wondering, you know, what the true story is. And that whole combat injured thing really just kept nagging at me. Because, you know, for a lot of us, it's very easy to verify whether or not we were. You know, these kind of make it pretty obvious. But you didn't have one of those. So, had to take a few extra steps. That's why, if you check the video before this one, you'll find a video where I asked if anybody from the 814th Engineer Battalion that was deployed to Iraq the same time as you were could reach out to me.
Yeah.
And you know what was really interesting? Not many people remembered you. Until I got in touch with one person. Here's his name. Not going to butcher it, because Lord knows I will. That's when he informed me that you deployed to the unit late. Okay. Makes sense. And then inform me that you left early. Well, that makes sense as to why not a lot of people remembered you. But what he said next was the interesting part. See, because apparently the 814th Engineer Battalion, Bridge Builders, only had 2 incidents of vehicles getting hit by IEDs or blown up or anything else. And you were not near either one of them. You also didn't leave because of a combat injury, did you? Those are all very interesting facts. And, you know, I questioned whether or not it was just one person's memory. And then I found another person to talk to. And they all talked to different people. And all the different people they talked to verified the same thing. You were not injured in combat. So here's my question. If you weren't injured in combat, what else are you lying to us about, Sam? I don't know. I really don't anymore. All the people you say you help, because the other intriguing factor to that is all the ones that I've talked to that you fucked over. Might want to take a second and check yourself. I thought bridge builders were supposed to be good at knowing where to attach a bridge so it doesn't just float away, but a bank of lies probably ain't the place to do it, buddy. Might want to fix yourself. Just to add clarification for everybody who's going to ask these questions. The individuals who were involved in the bombings and everything else that did happen to the 814th were not injured, did not have to be medevaced. No one was KIA from their unit during the entire deployment. There was also a claim about being at a battle buddy's funeral after he got medevaced and everything else, so that one is also a lie. Yeah, just thought I'd add those facts in there for anybody who is going to question that later. Do with this information as you will. The only one thing, do not go on an attack. That's not the point. Have a day.
So, Battle Buddy Response Team is an organization that's been helping veterans for a while now. And this is one of the reasons that I avoid certain organizations like this and avoid attaching my name to certain things. Because a lot of people get wrapped up in the story. They get wrapped up in the I don't even know, romanization? And I think it was Murbear asked me earlier why people do stuff like this. I think a lot of people they get in over their head, they get popular, and they start. It's like when you go fishing. You know, the fish was this big, you know, went to the bar and there was 12, 16 chicks. All of them were Victoria's Secret models with tits out to here. You exacerbate the details. The fish story becomes it was a fucking marlin that was as long as the boat. And now, because you're on a social media platform, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you're yelling and screaming on a live about people coming at you sideways, simply asking questions. Donate more to a good story. Okay. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm naive enough to believe, I have to believe that everyone at their core is a good person. Because if I didn't believe that, I would go absolutely insane. Now, there's a reason I use the username that I do, because I am a cynical person. I believe that everyone will do the self-serving thing at the end of the day. And I get proven right on a regular fucking basis. I have to believe that people will support a good cause simply because it's a good cause. And at its core, Battle Buddy Response Team is a good cause. Actually putting boots on the ground when someone needs help, not a fucking welfare check, not a... Yeah, so Lita, that was going to be the next video I was going to play from Az. I love Azriel, by the way. She is absolutely amazing. Please go check her out and give her a follow. I have to believe everyone at their core is a good person and will support a good cause. And I believe Battle Buddy Response Team at its core is a good cause. Same as a whole bunch of other organizations. However, these organizations are still owned and operated by people who are flawed, who are dishonest, who get wrapped up in the story. Now, am I making excuses for his behavior? Fuck no. I think he should be burned at the stake for some of his behaviors. He should be fucking tarred and feathered in the streets. You don't get to act like that. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care where you've been, what you've done. It doesn't matter. You don't get to act like that, especially as the face of an organization. Is it false valor? I don't know. I don't have all the information. All I have is what's at face value and what I've been told from others behind the scenes that I will keep to myself. Thank you very much. The point is, you only find what you look for. If all you ever look for is bad shit, that's all you're going to find. If you sit there and try to chase down every stolen valor, false valor motherfucker on the internet, you are going to run yourself ragged. And I know people who do it. I literally know someone who has an organization dedicated to chasing down false SEALs. People who claim to be a SEAL. If he sees them on any social media platform, anything, they make a post on Facebook about serving in the SEALs, he gets sent it and he investigates it down to its fucking root. He has filing cabinets on a wall beside his desk of investigations he has done. It has absorbed the last 20 years of his life. Man, if you want to do that with your life, by all means, you do you. But you only find what you look for, and if all you ever look for is a bad shit, that's all you're going to find. If someone comes to you with a fancy fucking story, telling you that they're fucking lead Cub Scout Brigade commander of the fucking 101st Airborne Division of the PJ's Recon SWIC team, cool story, bro. Turn and walk the fuck away. Is it right? No. Is it dishonest? Of course. Is it hurting anyone? That remains to be seen. I can't, the reason I haven't spoke out against this, the reason I haven't done a video on this, the reason I haven't told you guys much about this, I don't think it's right to utilize my community, because I know there's motherfuckers in my community that would go after him. And that's not what we're here for. We're here to have a good time. We're here to laugh. We're here to learn. I just want you to make the best decision you can with the information provided. I have been sent his video, I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times I've been tagged in Battle Buddy Response. Go and check him out. He's an awesome cause. He's doing great work. He's helping out veterans. This is what Dial a Vet should be. I want each and every one of you to make the best decisions you can with your financial goods, with your lives, and with your time. Because that's what it truly comes down to. This shit is not something you should be wasting your time with. There are literally people dedicated to this. Obviously a lot smarter than me, who have the means and the capabilities to do these investigations properly. I'm not gonna fucking run and go to TikTok and drag him simply because I have the inside track and the information provided. I don't think that's right. There's a whole bunch of other people who are doing the legwork. Y'all need to make the best decision you can for each and every one of you with the information provided. I will catch you later, Doc. Thank you for stopping in. Get some rest, dude. But Azriel did a follow-up video where she explained some stuff. And I want you guys to remember, this is not in call to arms to go and harass this individual. Because here's the thing, I still believe his organization can do awesome work for veterans. Just because a number of the individuals who are operating or the face of it aren't exactly honest doesn't mean they can't do good work for people who need it. There's a razor thin line to walk. Is it stolen valor? Is it false valor? How about we let the people who know better, who have the capabilities and the resources to do the investigations, do what they need to do. Here's the follow-up video.
Well, it's another watch it to the end video. Sam, I said it was time for us to have a chat. Not it was time for you to go change all your stories. Because I hate to tell you, but if you think I didn't have everything recorded already, you're sadly mistaken. I find it very interesting that after the video I made the other day, I log in today and I find these. Because you see, Sam, as of today, this is your bio. Pause to read. And before, this was your bio. Pay attention. Read.
The combat injured part.
Right here. You removed a lot of stuff in there, Sam. Like the combat injured part, the medically discharged part. Huh. Hang on though, there's more. Because here's your birth of the Battle Buddy response team as of today. And let's go back in time. And here's what it was before. Where yet again, down at the bottom,
Combat injured veteran.
combat injured veteran. And everything else. And medically discharged by 19. All of it. Why'd you remove those, Sam? Why'd you change it? So I hope you know that changing those things and removing that off your website is not going to make everything go away. Because it's all recorded in multiple formats, as a matter of fact. There's another thing I'd like to bring up. You know, you say you respond to every call. And this goes back to my original question about how much are you lying to us about. You say you respond in person to every call. That's the claims you make on lives. But I'd like to bring up something. So this is right there for anyone to see who is looking. This is in the concerned party form. And if you look right here, this is under disclosures. If you scroll down, we only provide in-person response for war/combat veterans and their families. Non-war/combat veterans will receive a phone call instead. By the way, responses are subject to availability, blah, blah, blah. A minimum $50 donation is required to verify the legitimacy. You require a donation in order to help somebody. So let's put the $50 donation to the side for a second. But right there in your form, it states that you only respond in person to combat veterans. So is that just another lie? That you respond to everybody in person? Is that just another one of your gimmicks? Sam, the question still remains. How much are you lying to us about? Hate to tell you. Forms have already been filed to get all the information with all the outside agencies and everything else. And it's slowly trickling in. You're not going to be able to run from this. It's going to come to light. It does not matter how much you change on that website. You need to fix it, not run from it. Have a day. Well, it's not.
I don't know that it's about money, Gandalf. I don't know. Is it false valor? Is it stolen valor? What is it? I don't fucking know. Again, she's a whole lot smarter than me with all the resources and capabilities. Now, this is going to be the final part of this. This is going to be the final part of this. Yeah, Dave, I agree. I think it's bullshit that they only respond to combat veterans. I feel it's bullshit that they require a donation to even get attention. From what I've heard with Sam, the only way to get his attention is to send him cash, and then all of a sudden he'll be right there with you. Good night, Grizzly Bear. I appreciate you. And to a certain degree, yeah, Ronan, I think he got his 15 minutes of fame. He let it go to his head, and now he fucking chased it into fucking oblivion. Who's to say? Really, who's to say? But the final point here is this. Myself, those in my organization, whether it's my mod team, whether it's fellow streamers who are affiliated with the veteran community, we're just regular fucking people. Do not come to us saying that you want us to do whatever investigations on whatever people to try to get whatever from whoever, verify this person. Oh, I want you to run this person. I want you to see if what they say is true. Man, I got my own bullshit I need to deal with. Why are you stacking more shit on my plate? I cannot tell you how many messages I've gotten over the years from people wanting someone investigated. Man, so someone is claiming to be whatever. Until it gets to this point where they're actually using prior service, lies in their service, to garner attention and financial gain, just too much. And Ronan, even beyond that, when it comes to someone claiming to be a disabled veteran, claiming to be in the military, claiming whatever, I had someone come to me recently about a friend of theirs who said they were a disabled veteran, and apparently no one in the VA knows who they are. Okay. What do you want me to do with this information? Well, what should I do? Nothing. So they're claiming to be a disabled veteran. So what? Well, what do you think I should do? Nothing. It's not your place. That's the bottom line. It's not your place. Unless you are an investigator trying to dig into this person's background because they've lied. Because here's the thing. Just saying that you're a veteran, okay, that's easy enough to prove. Saying you're a disabled veteran, okay. Do you know how many different disabilities? What if they're saying they are a disabled, veteran? What if their disability has nothing to do with their veteran status? What if it's two separate things? What if they got in a motorcycle accident after they got out of the military? Does that make them a disabled veteran? No, it makes them disabled veteran. There's a space in between. It could not even be related. And here's the other thing. What if they are a disabled veteran? So what? Exactly. Until physically or financially it affects you, hurts you in some way, negatively attacks your fucking mental health, it has nothing to do with you. I had my motorcycle accident on duty. Sorry. But even beyond that, what if they have a disability that you can't see? What if, hi, agoraphobic? My PTSD makes it so that I don't like to fucking leave the house. To the point where I don't leave the house for days on end. Is it hurting you? Is it affecting you? Yeah, no, that too. What if, okay, here's the next thing. What if they get classified as a disabled veteran, they get a 10% disability, and they never go back? Because, hi, I did that for nearly a decade. I went to the VA when I got out in 2012. I got out in 2012, okay? I went to the VA twice. Twice. No, check that. I went to the VA more than that because I saw a counselor. Counselor in groups, and I didn't go back until 2022. Yeah, it was almost a decade. It was a couple months off a decade, I guess. And I started pursuing an increase because people were like, yeah, you're fucked up. And I'm like, I'm not fucked up. And they're like, your back problems, your knee problems, your like all this other health issue that I wanted to get fixed. They're like, all this is from the military. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you need to get this fucking, it wasn't just a little bit of hearing loss. It wasn't just, oh, you know, sometimes when I lay on my left side for too long, that whole entire side goes numb. Nerve damage is fun. It's not just PTSD. You know who I talked to about this? Nobody. So I'm a disabled veteran who's like, I'm at the point where I'm disabled veteran, and it goes hand in hand. But what if there's a comma in between? What if they never go back? What if they get the 10%? Yes, they are a disabled veteran through the VA. They never went back for a decade. Nobody even knows who the fuck they are. They didn't know me. It's not your business. As long as what they are doing with their lives, as long as what they're doing with their lives aren't affecting you, aren't hurting you, live your life to the best of your ability. Let them do the same. Is it dishonest? Sure. Is it dishonorable? Yes. Is it embarrassing? Sometimes. Is it hurting anybody? A lot of times, no. So they're claiming to be a fucking COPJ, SWIC, Marine Force Recon, Ranger, Green Beret, Delta. Okay. So they're claiming they were in Fallujah and they didn't get in until fucking we were out of Fallujah. And I can literally do this on live. I did it with Lita the other night. We were listening to a dude saying that he was blown up by an IED, but he got married to his wife for 32 years after he got out. "32 years ago was 1997. You got blown up by an IED in Iraq in 1997? Yeah, the math ain't fucking mathin'. So is it someone wrapped up in a story? Is it someone who's wrapped up in a lie? Is it just someone who's fucking in their feelings and they get details mixed up because they're on a fucking rampage and on a roll? Who's to say? Somebody's sitting there on a video claiming to be the fucking rear admiral of the Blood Angel Space Marines. Whatever. What if I don't do math good. Math bad. Math real bad. It doesn't matter. Bottom line. Yeah, but okay, Desert, that's completely different. That too. If he hadn't been really annoying, I wouldn't have paid him. No, never mind. He annoyed me, and that made me go like... Raven, it's a fight. It's a fight. The VA is not a good time. And I think that's part of it too. A lot of veterans get stonewalled at every fucking junction. And you have to fight for every inch you get. It took me years, literal years, no, there's a bunch of guys. They call that the Forgotten War for a reason. There's a bunch of Vietnam. My dad, I'd get knocked down, drag out arguments with my dad. I'm like, Dad, why don't you go to the VA for actual help instead of, like, there's counselors, there's therapists. I am of the firm belief he has PTSD and has had PTSD for fucking decades and has just never talked to anyone. So is it stolen valor? Is it false valor? Is it somebody just getting wrapped up in a lie? Who knows? Point is, let people live their lives and you live yours. You only find what you look for. A lot of organizations, a lot of people who lead these organizations get attention and accolades. And a lot of individuals, you know, I said it for a long time, there's a lot of people who shouldn't be handed the fucking clipboard and be put in charge of anything. Including a fucking non-profit organization or for-profit or whatever the fuck. But then add on top, thank you, Murbear. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. Get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day. Focus on the positive, disregard the negative, and keep being awesome. A lot of people shouldn't be handed the clipboard and be put in charge of anything, let alone a fucking lemonade stand. But to also be getting attention and accolades and being put on a pedestal and being treated like on and on and on, whatever. He was like, I don't want it. Somebody take it from me. I don't want it. I am going to open the floor to questions. If you would like to hop into a box, if you would like to hop into a voice chat, let me know. We can have a conversation. If you would like to ask your question in the chat and you're not comfortable being in VC, that is more than acceptable. You can hop in the waiting room. I'll pull you in. We can have a conversation. I will warn you that having having a talk about every single what if scenario is not going to happen. Now I have another question, by all means, but we can have a conversation in general about general topics. Am I going to go over your uncle's brother's cousin's great aunt met someone in a supermarket who was wearing a field jacket that had name tapes and ranks on it? Not really a stolen valor question. Hey, Gandalf, let's save that. Let's save that for another night. Let's save that for another night because we're going to get severely distracted by the VA questions. Let's save that for another night, bud. Oh, hi, Merbear. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing all right. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping in.
No problem. So, I have a question about what you think about people in the VA. My husband's a disabled veteran. He's going through the whole process of getting everything done with the VA, and it is an absolute nightmare. So, we know that part. But why do you think so many people don't want to be involved with the VA and don't want the help that the VA can offer, like with healthcare counselors and stuff, like you mentioned? Why do you think so many people don't want it?
So, like I said to Gandalf, this is going to be a question that I'm going to address another night on a different Tuesday regarding the VA. But simply put, the VA is fucking difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And partly because they're an organization paid for by the government. So there's a whole bunch of bureaucracy involved. There's a whole bunch of red tape and hoops to jump through. It's difficult on top of the human element where a lot of the cases that get put on the desk are then evaluated by doctors and individuals who may or may not have actually been affected by that same illness or disability, and they're making their own personal judgment on it, which is what happened on a lot of people's cases. Is they get told by someone that they're not actually sick or there's nothing actually wrong with them, or hey, it's just you're just tired, suck it the fuck up, get some sleep. And that happened for a really long time.
Well, I think you answered it very well, and I appreciate that and look forward to hearing about it later. I'll hop down so other people can jump in.
All right, thank you, Merbear.
Thanks.
I think VA in general is difficult to navigate on top of the bureaucracy and the bullshit and the red tape. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But yes, for stolen valor questions, shit like that, we can, what's up, Control? We can talk about it. I would request that VA questions at a later date. We're going to do another 2-Ton Tuesday, and I have been planning on diving into the VA and talking about some of the successes, some of the failures, some of the middle grounds, talking about some of the ways you can get your benefits and things that you can do to get help, VSOs, what to look for, what not to look for, what to stay away from. Should I ever question someone claiming to be in the military, or just take it as okay, move on? What do you mean? Yeah. Okay, so my question would be, are you in a position where you have to deal with that on a daily, hourly basis? Where someone comes up and says, hey, I'm in the military. I deserve recompense for it. I deserve a discount. I deserve whatever because I'm in the military. Because otherwise, it seems to me like you're seeking that out. And I don't think anyone should ever seek out confrontation. Sounds like a bad idea to me. Just saying. I think it would depend on the instance. I think it would depend on the situation. Mainly, it doesn't even affect you at all. Someone claiming to be military veteran, current military, just take it as face value and move on. And like I said before, if someone's wearing a uniform, if someone's wearing ribbons, it's clothes. Now, if that person, here's the flip side of it. Here's the flip side. If that person is wearing that uniform, demanding to be respected, demanding some sort of tangible benefit from you, that's different. But what are you going to do? You roll up to them and fucking call them out in public? Make a fucking video where you stuff a camera in their face? You're just looking for a confrontation. And that's not a good thing. Yeah, it's a bad thing. Yeah, same, Dragon. I've got enough bullshit in my life. I'm not going to add to it with someone else's. I've got enough drama and bullshit going on in my life. I'm not going to take on someone else's. No time for that shit. For real. For real. Are they trying to get a benefit for saying it? Even if, say it's Veterans Day, and they're going to Applebee's for their one free meal, and their handshake and their thank you for your service. Unless you are the CEO of Applebee's and you're tracking down every single meal on Veterans Day, looking at your bottom line of profits, it doesn't affect you. Oh, yeah, no, Stretch. Just like every other military member, we will sit there and literally pick out. It's like watching a movie. Watching a movie with a veteran or military member, guarantee it's going to be fucking annoying. Oh my God, I saw a fucking horrible one the other day. Someone using an AR with no sights, just a flat rail on top. And I was like, what the fuck? So, if someone's in uniform, we can sit there and be like, his ribbons are fucked up. Why is his rank diagonally? What the fuck? What is up with it? Wait, why are you slick sleeving it, bro? You're an E6 and you ain't got no years in? What the fuck? And on and on and on. Like, we will sit there and pick apart their fucking uniform. It's annoying you. And yes, the 3 Fs. Lita said it earlier. The 3 Fs. If they aren't feeding, financing, or fucking you, it don't matter. The 3 Fs. Apply that to every single situation in your life. If they aren't feeding you, financing you, or fucking you, it don't fucking matter. I'm a receptionist at an eye doctor office. Man came in mad because he is a veteran and deserved this, and that because of it. And because it isn't something we do, had a huge disrespecting him personality. In that case, especially if you're a receptionist at his doctor's office, I would open his file and be like, are you a veteran? Like, okay, your veteran status has nothing to something like that. Something like that. Your veteran status has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with me rendering you service for your eyes. Are you here on a referral from the VA? That has, your veteran status has nothing to do with me rendering service to you. So hang on. This is something I meant to talk about and I completely forgot. Thank you for your service. I said it and I made my own heart hurt. It made my chest tight. Oh. Thank you for your service. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Every veteran. Yep, scratch that. Most every veteran I have ever met, I have known, or me myself, hate being thanked for our service. Absolutely abhor it with every fiber of our fucking being. Zane, you're going to have to write that one out because, wow. Every single veteran I know, most every single veteran I know, hate being thanked for the service. With a few, infinitesimally few veterans who seek it. You should thank me for my service because you're welcome for your freedoms. Yeah, even we don't like those people. We think they're douchebags too. Don't lump us in with those. If they're demanding to be thanked for their service, they should go sit on the fucking thumbtack, as Lita would say. I have never seen that abbreviation. I don't like it. Oh, yeah, Greg, I'm right there with you. Yeah, boo. Try going to college in 2012. Thank you for your service. Have you killed anyone? So, what can we do instead? Hang on. You're getting ahead of me. I had a whole topic lined up and I had it organized and everything was going to roll and everything was going to be awesome. And then it just kind of went, pew! Thank you for your service. Immediately followed by, have you killed anyone? When I got out in 2012, I had a plan. And I had a career lined up and I had interviews and everything was going great. And then everything fell through. Every single thing I had lined up fell through. Every plan I had made. As a 25-year-old man who had been married for 2 years, moved back in with my parents. After 5 years of military service, couldn't find work. You don't have a death certificate? So, okay, yes, go to your county office, county VSO, anyone like that. As long as you have a death certificate and proof of next of kin, you can get a DD-214 from the VA. However, Oh, you're going to have to jump through some extra hoops. Okay, so Shadow, message me after this because that's a whole other, yeah. I went back to college. After getting out. And just imagine a 25-year-old veteran going back to college with bright-eyed and bushy-tailed 18-year-old kids who had never seen the world, being taught by people who were oh so worldly and never left a city in their entire lives, who pretended to know how the world worked and had in fact never left the school. So I got in some interesting conversations. And inevitably, whenever someone found out I was a veteran, because they would look at me and be like, you're 25, you look like you're 30. You look like you're 35. You look like you're 40. I got told I was 40 one time. I'm like, I'm 25. Inevitably, when someone found out I was a veteran, they would say, thank you for your service. And you can put money. You could put money on the next question being some form of, did you see combat? Did you serve in Iraq? Did you kill anyone? And for a long time, I didn't understand it. For a long time, I would tell the worst possible story I could. I would try to hurt that person. I would seek to disgust them and to make them regret ever talking to me. I would make them never want to ask that question ever again to anyone else. And it took me a long time to understand why. Why would they ask that? Why would they even want to know that about me? What if I answered yes? Are they going to treat me differently? Am I going to be a hero? Am I going to be a monster? What if I do answer yes and then they ask me details? Why would you want to know about that? And it took me a long time to understand that some people simply want to feel like they're a part of it. They want to be able to relate. They want to be able to talk to you. And because the military and combat have been so romanticized through Hollywood and books and TV shows and movies and everything, they think the one way that they can relate to us is through questions like that. Gandalf, to a certain degree, maybe. Maybe it's a morbid curiosity. But I like to think that most people, at their core, are good. And they simply want to relate to us. And they have an uncle or a brother or a niece or a sister or an aunt that served. And they think that's the only way they can relate to us because that's all they know. And it took me a long time, about until I got on TikTok, to come up with a proper response to thank you for your service. And what I usually go with is Thank you for your support. It was our honor and privilege to do so. Thank you for being worth the sacrifice. Same kind of deal, Merbear. People, it gets romanticized. It gets to where people only think that's what really happens. And sure, it is in some cases. But for a long time, I didn't understand it. And I tried to hurt people. I tried to hurt their feelings. I tried to make them shy away from us as veterans. Raven, I saw your question in the Discord. Give me a second. I will address that in just a second. And it took me a long time to understand. And now it has changed because a lot of veterans don't see it the same way. A lot of veterans do see it as someone simply trying to hurt them. You know, they can't relate to me. They've never seen what I've seen. They don't know how hard you gotta be for the military. And it's a very elitist point of view. Veterans view civilians as blind sheep, and civilians view veterans as, I don't know, wolves, broken, mangy, dirty wolves. And that's not really what it is. And I think we just don't understand each other. And that's why I have these conversations. That at their core, that's why I have these conversations. We talk about the sensitive societal issues that affect us on a day-to-day basis. Because I view things in a certain way. Because of my background. Because of the way I was raised. Because of my military experience. Because of my time after the military. You view things the way you do because you have a completely different life experience. Is your view wrong and mine right? Is my view wrong and yours right? Who the fuck knows? I don't think so. I think we all look at the same rock that we live on in a different light simply because we've had different lived experiences. But that shouldn't stop us from being able to relate to each other. That's why I have these talks. Now, Raven, your question. Regards to a person who had signed on the line, went to boot camp, moved to a different state, MOS was changed for AIT, refused to go to AIT, and just left and never went back and now wants to be treated as a veteran. As per the VA, you have to have served at least, I believe, 10 months in an active duty status to be declared a veteran and gain benefits. I do believe it has to be beyond a year, actually 366 days that you served to garner benefits from the VA. To be a veteran, you have to have served at least 10 months, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the details. Do not quote me. I know it is for a year You have to have at least served. However, comma, I know a number of individuals who signed that dotted line, who went to boot camp, who failed out of boot camp for whatever reason, documented medical issues. I know a guy who broke his back, literally broke his back, and was forced out of the Marine Corps. Never got to finish boot camp, never got to finish getting, I don't know what the Marines do for fucking A school, but whatever. And he is embarrassed of his military time. The 3 months he spent. And I've talked with them. I've talked with a bunch of people like that, because I've done a number of dial-a-vets about this. Me, just me, in my heart of hearts, if you sign that line, you are willing and able where'd it go? There's something floating, and I just completely... If you sign that line, you are willing and able to go, and something prevents you from moving forward in your career, something out of your control, I consider you a veteran. I consider you family. I consider you blood. You are one of mine. If you want to stand in my corner. There are people who have never served a single day in the military who I treat closer than some actual veterans, simply because of the stance they take and the support they give and the love they show towards us. Now, anyone who demands to be treated in a certain fashion simply because they signed a piece of paper, no. You can get fucked and stay fucked. I don't agree with that in any shape or form. If you're demanding special treatment simply because you signed a piece of paper, I don't even care if you served your entire fucking career. I don't care if you served a 20 fucking year lifer. You know, some of the most humble motherfuckers are 20-year veterans. They'll pull out that fucking blue retired identification card. And okay, here's something else. Do you know how many retired identification cards that I saw in 5 years? And just a reminder, I was a gate guard for 5 fucking years. Okay? I rolled main gate on duty stations a lot. Do you know how many retired identification cards I saw in 5 fucking years? Probably less than 10. I would honestly... One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 or 7. 6 or 7 in 5 years. 5 years as a gate guard. I saw a 20-year retired identification card. Some of those humble motherfuckers on the face of the planet, and you wouldn't know it by looking at them. Thanks, coach. They don't demand to be treated any kind of way. And who's to say? Fucking, I interacted with them for 30 seconds as they were coming through my gate. But I'll tell you right now, some of the most entitled, spoiled brats are people who demand to be thanked for their service, who wear their fucking command ball cap, all nice and fucking clean and shiny with their pins and their medals. I know. You want to know how I know? Because my dad wears his. My dad wears his. He wears his command ball cap, and he's got a couple ribbons. And it's all fucking bent the way he likes it, and he gets thanked for his service all the time, and he's all fucking stoked when it happens. He's also a Vietnam veteran. He also got spit on. He got jumped. He got beat down. He's been mugged multiple times. And now he's still proud of it. It's a different generation. He likes getting thanked for his service. It makes me uncomfortable. Same here. But each person is responsible for their own behavior and what is on their heart, what is on their mind, and what comes out their mouth. Stolen valor and false valor, a lot of the behaviors that are attributed to stolen valor and false valor are not, in fact, that. They are protected actions under the First Amendment. You are allowed to wear whatever uniforms, insignias, ranks, medals, ribbons, whatever you want, as long as you are not using it to manipulate or garner tangible benefit from those around you. Is it a good idea? Probably not. Are you allowed to? Yes. Should you? I wouldn't recommend it. But at the end of the day, they are simply clothes. They are a piece of cloth and metal that have a lot of sentimental value to those who have earned them. But to each individual person, they mean something else. Does that person hold sentimental value to the uniform the other person may or not be wearing properly? Of course. Are they allowed to have that feeling about it? Of course. Are they allowed to do anything about it? No. Because it is clothes. The 3 F's. Unless they're feeding, financing, or fucking you, it don't matter. Let them wear whatever they want. Let them claim to be the Rear Admiral of the Space Cadets, SEAL, Force Recon, SWIC, PJ, Delta, CIA operative, whatever. It don't matter. Oh, Greg, I loved COVID. Just stay away from me. I like my 6-foot bubble. If I swing a yardstick in every direction, nobody touch me. I don't know what drives this whole movement of seeking out stolen valor and putting them on blast and putting a camera in their fucking face. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're not financing them. You're not fucking them. You're not feeding them. They have to look themselves in the mirror every day and come to grips with who they are. And obviously they're happy with it. They're wearing it out in public. Literally wearing it on their chest in some cases. Point being, everyone should live their lives as best they can, making the best possible choices they can with the information provided. Does anyone have any other questions? Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Unless someone has a question regarding stolen valor. Hey, it's all good, Dave. Thank you for stopping in. I'm going to call that an evening as well. Thank you to each and every one of you. When are you going to bed? Right now. Well, maybe not right now, but soon. Thank you to each and every one of you for stopping in. I appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. As always, take care of yourselves. Have a good evening, and I will see you later. As always, you know how I like to leave you with my 2 rules. Rule number 1, don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2, everything is small stuff. Every day is a new opportunity to do better than you did yesterday. Try to take advantage of it. Scratch that. Scratch that. Got an interesting, hang on. Hangy. Logger. How would you go about reporting possible cases of stolen valor? You wouldn't. If you were truly concerned that someone is committing fraud to that point and a felony, the best thing I can say is call your closest VA and report it. Because at the base level, that would be their investigative purpose. That's where they would go from there. Declare it to your local authorities. Let them handle it, because that is literally a felony. If you think someone is actually committing stolen valor, that felony, declare it to your local authorities, whether it's the police department, whether it's the VA, whatever. That's what you should do. Never, ever personally confront someone saying that they are stolen valor. Because here's the thing, you have now publicly defamated their character. And you are now legally liable because you said they were committing a crime. Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? If you have suspicions that anyone is committing that crime, declare it to your local authorities. Let them handle it. Clear? I'm going to call that good. You guys have a good night. I will see you later. As always, you know how I like to leave you with my 2 rules. Rule number 1, don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2, everything is small stuff. Every day is a new opportunity to do better than you did yesterday. Try to take advantage of it. It's not always easy, it's not always fun, but you only find what you look for, and if all you ever look for is the bad shit, that's all you're ever gonna find. Focus on the positive, disregard the negative. Your life will start to get better simply because you have changed your perspective of your reality. It's not gonna be tomorrow or the next day, but eventually you will find it has gotten better. Promise you, as long as you keep on pushing forward. Thank you so much for your time, attention, and patronage. I appreciate each and every one of you, but I need you to do me a favor. Take care of yourselves. Eat good food, drink water, take your meds, and get some rest when you need it. But on top of that, take care of your mental health, which is just as important. Find time to de-stress, decompress, and drop some of that baggage you've been carrying around. Get lost in a movie, a book, a TV show, whatever you need to do, but do something for you. Because you are valid, you are important, and you matter. Even if you don't think you matter to anyone else, you matter to us. We want to see you back here. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you for being a part of this community. Have a good night, and tomorrow, try to have a nice day.
I did it again. I play with you. Fucking cat! God!
Hang on, I'm gonna get away from this landmine. Oh God, Vulture! No, no, Vulture! Fuck off! Ha! I lived. Am I a basic white bitch? Fuck it, I am. Rawr. Dickspur. Jesus Christ on a.
No, I need